Arkansas. But in June, Ross and the Blue Dog Coalition held up the House bill for 2 weeks, and they insisted on promoting co-ops instead of a public option. At a town hall meeting last month, Ross spoke passionately about the need for health care reform.
I was negotiating challenge today with everybody from the president to the speaker, to the majority leader, to the chairman of the committee. I wasn't negotiating to kill the bill. I was negotiating to give us the kind of common sense health care reform that we need, and it reflects Arkansas values.
This meeting was a chance for Ross's constituents to be heard. It ran well over 2 hours. But there was mostly the familiar bickering over illegal immigrants and the role of government. Only 3 people without insurance asked questions. That bothered Kevin Model, who was there. He's a history professor at Washita Baptist University.
Many of those individuals who would need a public health care option are those who are not likely to be able to take 2 hours out of their day to go to a public event like that town hall. They were too busy earning hourly wages trying to keep roofs above their children's heads. Those voices are not going to be present in that discourse.
In fact, political scientists say low-income people, the people most likely to be uninsured, are less likely to be at a town meeting, less likely to vote, and they're less likely to make campaign contributions. Unlike corporations and professional groups, so far this year, the Blue Dog Political Action Committee has received $300,000 from PACs in healthcare and health insurance, and another $100,000 has gone from the same sectors like Ross. He got together with donors from the healthcare industry in June, right around the same time the Blue Dogs were challenging the House bill. The fundraiser brought in at least $20,000 from healthcare PACs. Ross's office didn't respond to NPR's repeated requests to interview him over the past 2 weeks. But another Blue Dog, Jim Cooper of Tennessee, says the group believes the uninsured will benefit because other provisions would change the insurance system.
The chief impetus of this whole effort is to help the uninsured. It's unquestionably true in politics that powerful interests have probably a disproportionate voice, but we're doing double backflips to help the uninsured.
And many insurance donors don't want the bill to die. Analyst Ethan Siegel is with the Washington Exchange, a firm that monitors Capitol Hill for institutional investors.
I think the influence is there, but it isn't necessarily on all parts to kill the bill. It's to make the bill more livable for the private sector.
At least those private sector elements that lobby and make campaign contributions. National Republicans have targeted many of the Blue Dogs for defeat, but many of them may not be all that vulnerable. 15 of the 52 Blue Dogs haven't had a fundraise since at least 2002. That includes Mike Ross. Julian Salazar is a historian at Princeton University.
Ideally, some people think governments should allow members of Congress to act more like independent leaders. But it doesn't actually work that way very often.
Instead, he says, most entrenched incumbents listen carefully to the most likely voters back home and to the most reliable contributors in D.C. Peter Overby, NPR News, Washington.
I'm glad you're with us this morning on this public radio station. And when you're checking news throughout the day at npr.org, you can see which states and districts have the highest percentage of uninsured residents.
During this health care debate, the president and others have evoked the venerated name of Mayo. The Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, has been singled out as a top-flight provider of health care and a program which manages to keep costs down. We're joined by Dr. Danny Cortese, who's the president of the Mayo Clinic. Welcome to our program.
Well, thank you for having me, and look forward to the discussion.
Dr. Cortese, the most interesting thing that you do, I think, at Mayo is to put your doctors on salary. Is this one of the reasons you think why you have a good record on costs?
I think it's one of several factors that we have in place that are specifically designed to reduce the potential conflict of commitment for our physicians so that they
can
can...
you just sort of explain why it would be a conflict or not a conflict?
Well, if your salary or the amount of money that you pay varies depending on how much you do to people, there can be a conflict of interest for the physician because if they end up doing less to keep people healthier, they may actually make no money. What we try to do at Mayo Clinic is to reduce the conflict of commitments and salary to build around best provisions.
I wonder if you've had a tough time recruiting doctors. I mean, if you just leave aside greed, lots of young docs graduate from medical school with big debt, and they disappearance, officials found several life vests scattered throughout the area and a spare raft. An FBI test, all of them were able to float for many hours. Dyke also ran his own test with the Coast Guard. It showed the men could survive in cold water for at least 2.5 hours if the boat failed. Plus, Dyke says power was recovered near Angel Island, their destination. Also, possibly a raft. The wind was blowing in that direction, and Dyke says there are a few other things the men had in their favor.
A 10-hour jump start. If they were able to steal a car, even though there was a nationwide map, there's all kinds of roads, no possibilities they could have run.
The FBI has long held that the men drowned, consumed by the frigid temperatures of the bay. They point to a Norwegian shipping freighter whose crew spotted the body in the Pacific Ocean 6 weeks after the escape. But the crew waited several more months before they even reported him. Regardless, the assistant director of the Bureau of Prisons told the press the tides and winds that night were strong. Only a trained athlete could make such a swim. That may not necessarily.
This is a scary kid. A guy in a wheelchair did it.
Devin Mika is 14 years old. He and his dad and 600 other people have all just crawled out of the water on the San Francisco beach after swimming in Alcatraz. Some are wearing wetsuits, some just swimsuits, and some are swimming in for the third time, like Devin's father, James Mika.
I think it's actually like salty. It's salty, very salty. If I was swimming on a life, that's super fun. If this was my life on the line, that's what my movie got done.
So much going for them. It's not hard for Marshall Dyke to come up with new leads. He recently fingerprinted a man in Delaware who matched Clarence England's description. He chased down a story about a tavern owner in Florida who allegedly sent a boat to Alcatraz the night of the escape. He's interviewed just time for the news, and these stories here and now. A private school causes an uproar, giving away all its library books, including the library online. But isn't that where the kids are? Also, what happens when a fashion photographer makes cameras for the severely disabled? That's Public Radio's Daily Digest of News and Culture here and now.
That is this morning at 11 o'clock on 90.3 WBHM and 91.5 WSGN.
It's Morning Edition from NPR News. I'm Steve Inskeep.
And I'm Linda Wertheimer. Today's United Nations meeting on climate change could be seen as a pep rally. The UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon wants to pump up enthusiasm for a climate treaty. It's supposed to be finished in December in Copenhagen, but it's in deep trouble. In a moment, we'll hear NPR's Juan Williams on the domestic politics of climate change. We start with NPR's Richard Harris.
Climate change is a hard problem. An effective treaty would eventually require the global economy to change directions entirely, with a shift away from fossil fuels and toward cleaner sources of energy. There's at least serious talk about starting that transition. The United States is a key player, and the House of Representatives passed a bill that is intended to move in that direction. But the issue is stalled in the Senate. Jason Grumet at the Bipartisan Policy Center says there are three main reasons for that.
The global recession, the extent to which the healthcare debate has now really crowded out all other political activity, and the deep mistrust that people in our Congress and across our country now have about market-based approaches to problem solving.
The idea of creating vast new markets to buy and sell carbon emissions suddenly sounds like not such a great idea, since exotic markets in bundled mortgages nearly led to economic collapse a year ago. Grumet says given time, there are ways to solve these problems.
The real challenge, though, it